Hello everybody, welcome to another presentation by the IAPC&M. I'm Dawn Campbell, Sales and Marketing Director, and I'm joined by David Monroe-Jones, COO. Hello David.
Hi Dawn.
So very quickly, we're just going to be bringing this presentation to life. It's about understanding the difference between accreditation versus certification, and why your accreditation status matters, not just to you and your business, but perhaps more importantly to your clients, the benefits of accreditation, the actual process, and when you can apply and how to contact us. So David, over to you, please.
Thank you, Dawn. Okay, so the difference really between accreditation and certification is that accreditation is one step higher than certification. And the typical example would be that if you attend a university, the university delivers degrees and a variety of other courses. In order to be able to do that, they have to be accredited. Therefore, the accreditation process is more verification and demonstration of competency or capability to carry out specific tasks, whereas certification is more verification of products, processes, systems, or persons. And to further expand upon that, what you could say is that when you come out of university, you have a certificate. You can put that on a job description. You can put it onto like a CV. You can put it on any of your social media profiles. Whereas with accreditation, that's very much like a personal thing.
Okay, so why does your accreditation status matter?
Accreditation really is very much about that differentiator. It differentiates you from those people who aren't accredited. It's a demonstration and a formal recognition of all of the different things that you've gone through, your training, your certification, demonstration of your capability, enhancement of your credibility, the fact that you understand and follow a code of professional conduct, that standards and ethics are part of your moral compass. It's also about reliability and validity, which comes up a lot in statistics, but reliability simply means that you can demonstrate constantly the same degree of quality, as a coach when you're working with clients. And the validity part is very much about being recognized as caring about your clients enough to go through a process, to go through the training, the assessments, to demonstrate that you are good at what you do. And that means that you care about your clients' needs and that you care about supporting them, and you're just generally protecting them. Very similar to the medical professions, first do no harm.
Okay, so we have an evolving list of value-added benefits to enhance the return on investment that our practitioners receive for their initial accreditation fee. So there's a downloadable leaflet explaining all the benefits, and they're too vast to go into in this call, but what I would like to say is that if we split them into two key areas, one is CPD, and that is to do with conference calls, support with capability, and enhancing your core coaching and mentoring skills. And then there's the business acumen. So we have a business of coaching 12-month modular e-program, which is complimentary for you to download at your own pace to develop those skills that you need, not only to become a better coach, but also to run a thriving coaching practice. So what's the accreditation process, David? Talk us through that, please.
Accreditation process is relatively straightforward. The first step really is to look on the website and decide what level of accreditation you want to go for. That is based on two initial factors: whether you've trained with one of our accredited training providers or you're going to come through what we call a portfolio route, and then secondly, what level you might be at. The information here is based upon the practitioner level. It's based upon the criteria for the accredited training provider route. But in all cases, we start off by receiving payment. Once we've received payment, the individual will receive an email, and that details the evidence that's required that we need to see, and that includes things such as formal training certificates, a coaching log, or a mentoring log if they're going through the mentoring process. We also ask them to sign the professional code of conduct. There is a questionnaire around standards and ethics. There's a 30-minute assessment call. The 30-minute assessment call is designed specifically to assess the capability of the individual coach or the individual mentor, as it might be. It's not a role play, it's a live call upon which sort of everybody will receive feedback afterwards, which they find incredibly beneficial. There is also a requirement after that to complete a self-reflection. This is very much about looking at the review process and a person's ability to reflect upon their professional practice. And then providing that they pass the assessment, and the assessment process has a pass mark of 70%, then they will receive a logo, they will receive feedback about their assessment of course, they will also receive a certificate. Accreditation is valid for 3 years, providing that their annual membership renewal is maintained over that process. And then at the end of the 3-year period, there is a re-accreditation process that everybody needs to go through.
And how does that differ if somebody hasn't come through the accredited route, David? What are the additional things they have to do?
Yeah, if they haven't come through the accredited route, then we will be asking for testimonials from clients. At a practitioner level, that will be 5, and then the numbers go up depending upon the the level that they're applying for. There is a capability interview process. The capability interview is designed to find out a little bit more about the individual coach, their underpinning knowledge, what models that they use, and so on and so forth. There is also a requirement to provide information about the training courses that they've been on, because with our accredited providers, because they've gone through the accreditation process, we've been supplied with all of the information about content and structure. But if it's the portfolio route, we don't have that. So if they can provide the information in a format that they've received from the training provider, that's great. If not, a link to the website. If not, then we would be asking for a summary just to understand what sort of things that they've been trained in, what the duration of the course was, and was there an assessment process? What did they come out with at the end?
Okay, thank you. So when is the best time to apply for your professional status? Well, any time. Basically, you need to have a coaching log. So for practitioner, we ask for 60 practical coaching hours. And it doesn't have to be with paid clients, because obviously we recognize at that stage you're new and you've got study buddies and practice hours with your studies. But essentially that grows with the status that you apply for. So for a lot of students, they want to set up their business in line with the study program that they're on. Now, if you want to apply before you finish the process with your training provider, you're obviously not going to become accredited. You're going to be in waiting because we need your certificate and all the other things that David's mentioned. But it does mean you can have access to the CPD and the business building benefits and resources that are available. So you can apply at any time. And if you're in any doubt, just speak to us. So just to wrap up then, David, what are some of the key questions that you would pose at this stage when somebody's thinking, is accreditation right for me?
Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, I think as we've mentioned, going through this, it is very much about differentiating yourself from the competition. It is very much about demonstrating that you care about your clients, that you've gone through a process. So one of the questions that you might ask yourself would be, what are the implications of not becoming accredited? One of my favorite questions would also be, in 12 months' time, you'll wish you'd started your accreditation process today, because time moves so very, very quickly. And I think one of the other things that you can ask yourself is, if not now, when? What's holding you back? Why aren't you going through this process? And as the quote says at the top, so like the Gandhi quote, you're like, your future depends on what you do today, not what you're going to put off until tomorrow. It's not about procrastination. It's about taking that step. And two of the quotes that we often use, so like within the accreditation process, lifted from Stephen Covey and John Cotter, is very much about, like, beginning with the end in mind, and starting with a sense of urgency. It's that process of recognizing that your accreditation status matters, and if it does, then start now, get it done.
Thank you. So as you can see, there's a link there for you to apply. We're totally automated, but if you're not very techy, you can just jump on the Skype or phone or Zoom with us, and we'll talk you through it. But whatever you decide, we look forward to welcoming you to our growing community and supporting you on your professional journeys and helping you grow your business. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.